I am Thor, son of Odin, and as long as there is life in my breast, I am running out of things to say.
Great, another broken white boy for us to fix.
That's my secret, Cat.
I'm always angry.
You took everything from me.
I don't even know who you are. With great power comes great responsibility.
I can do this all day.
Wakanda forever!
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Views from the 616 Black Widow Review. That's right, we are here to review Black Widow with no spoilers. But before we get into that, make sure you follow or subscribe on whatever platform that you are watching or listening to this on. That means if you're on YouTube, means if you're on SoundCloud, means if you're on Twitch, means if you're on Twitter, it don't matter. Make sure you're following Views from the 616 and the ForAllNerds Massive. In fact, if you're on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, make sure you're following ForAllNerds. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a rating, 5 stars, all that good stuff. And now let's get into this Black Widow review because, as usual, it's your boy, DJ Benhameen, a.k.a. a Theraminister Society, here on Views from the 616. We're talking about Black Widow. And as always, I'm joined by
Tatiana King, a.k.a. Tesseract Thompson. And this is more of our first impression review. We are going to give you a full spoilery, is that a word? A full spoiler-filled review later on down the line. But for now, as Benhameen said, spoiler-free, just to give y'all a taste of what to expect.
Mm-hmm. All right, we both just finished watching it. I mean, just finished watching it. Shout outs to the plug. Shout outs to Disney. Good looks on that. Woo!
Thanks, Disney. My bracelet is still on my ankle. I have not left the home.
Yes.
So.
It feels good to be a gangster. What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it. I know this is going to come as a shock to some people on the fan fam for like 2 years straight. I was like, I don't care. I don't give a damn. Who cares about Black Widow? I will say I don't feel that much more in sync with her. Like I still don't think she's not my fave character still, but I did enjoy the film. I did enjoy the fact that it gave us some more overview of who she is and where she comes from and the people around her and her life. And I thought it was a good time. What about you, Ben?
Well, I definitely was not slandering Black Widow leading up to this, like my certain co-host of mine might have been.
I wasn't really slander. I just said I don't care about her.
There was a lot more than that. But, check the tapes. I was looking forward to this personally because I'm always looking forward to any MCU film. As much as Scarlett Johansson can, say and do things that I disagree with, I still, have a bit of fondness for her in my heart. I liked her as Black Widow from the jump. I was looking forward to this joint, and I really enjoyed it. It was a solid MCU joint.
Yeah, Ben, I agree with you. Like, it's not the best MCU movie, but it's not the worst MCU movie either. And I want to be clear that I'm not giving it a middling rating. I thought it was fun. I thought it was above just mid-range, but it wouldn't make or break someone's faith in the MCU. Like, it's just a solid movie overall. Like, I felt that it was a solid chase, action, even heist movie type of hybrid. And it had all the familiar callbacks and references to those types of films and all the tropes that come along with those types of films.
Yes.
All the tropes. And it was mixed with a bit of political commentary, commentary about women and girls. We know that Marvel has tried to throw that in there a few ways. They've done that to middling degree when it came to Captain Marvel. I didn't like that approach wasn't the greatest, but this one they do much better in my view. And really just the view of how the world treats women and girls and how they see them as disposable. So there is commentary about that within this film. But that being said, this story of Black Widow gives us the meat of Natasha Romanoff's upbringing, some insight into her personal story, and this is all public. Just it takes place between the events of Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War. So this is a prequel to Natasha's character, and like I said, I felt that it was strong.
Yeah, For the most part, with some other scenes thrown in here and there, it takes place, but the meat of the movie takes place during that time. It was directed by Kate Shortland, written by Jack Schaefer, who was story by
Jack.
Yeah, Jack from that's WandaVision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, story by Jack, story by Ned Benson, and screenplay by Eric Pearson. So I just wanted to shout them out, especially Kate Shortland, because you did the damn thing on these action sequences.
The action sequence, and again, when I talk about solid work, like I want to know who the stunt coordinator was, and I need to check real quick because very well done, and it was followable action. It wasn't just shaky cam, too many jump cuts. Like you can see where people were going, even if it was frenetic type of fights, you still understood what was happening.
Yes, definitely a lot of streamlined action, like you said, not a lot of jump cuts. Definitely, it feels like the Bourne Identity with less jump, Mission Impossible. All those type of, you got to, like you said, callbacks to a lot of those tropes, a lot of people surviving unbelievable things, doing unbelievable things. But I was loving all of that, all the action, all the chase sequences. There was one chase sequence that I just wasn't ready for that was pure fire throughout the, in the movie. I felt, and speaking of that chase sequence, my overall feeling of this is that this is the Fast and the Furious of the MCU. Because just like in Fast and Furious, where humanoid characters, I will call them, survive unbelievable things, everyone in this movie survives unbelievable things. And you don't mind it because it's an action movie. It's going along, like you say, in that vein and with those tropes. And also the emphasis on family.
Big emphasis on family. And the name of the stunt coordinator is James Young. And I want to just repeat what you said about when I said that there were callbacks and references. You said exactly the movies I was thinking about. Mission Impossible, Bourne Identity, Italian Job, definitely Fast and Furious.
Oh, what's the joint?
James
Ronin.
Bond.
Some Ronin thrown in there.
Like, all of the concepts that people should be used to when it comes to these type of action films, you're going to get in Black Widow.
Light bit of the Raid. I'm not going to compare it to the Raid because the Raid is that joint. But, some of that light work from the Raid. And like going back to the action was great, all that. But like I said, the heart of the movie is about the family. And I felt it. Overall,
I felt it.
I cannot lie. I felt it. I really liked the introduction of the Red Guardian. I really liked the introduction of the Melina character, Iron Maiden in the comic books.
Yeah, Melina Vostokov, played by Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz.
Yeah, in the comics, as you said, she's known as Iron Maiden. She's originally a Russian spy.
Yep.
David Harbour played Alexei Shostakov, which is Red Guardian. In the comics, he's the Soviet Union's version of Captain America.
And in the MCU, he's pretty much, you'll see more about that. But yeah.
And as far as Yelena Belova, played by Florence Pugh, in the comics, she's essentially a rival to Natasha / Black Widow.
Yes. Now, a lot of people have already been hyping her, saying that she stole the film. I thought she was great. I thought David, of course, is great. I was really Rachel Weisz. Rachel Weisz really did it for me in this movie.
Really?
Yes.
I don't feel like anyone, Florence.
I don't want to say stole.
I want to say stole, but Florence is such a likable character. Well, let me not say Florence, but Yelena. Yelena is such a likable character, and that is due to Florence's take on that role. I will say that in that way, the fact that you take to Yelena fairly quickly, like I can't see how no one would not like her. I think in that way, I can see why people might say she stole the show a bit, but she was definitely a standout.
Oh, yeah. No, she shines. Don't get me wrong. She shines.
She big shines. But so does David Harbour, right? Like his Alexei is wonderful. And the previews give you, even though Marvel is generally very good about not giving you too much with the previews, I will say the previews give you a good idea of these approaches to these characters, just in terms of the fun that you're going to have with these characters.
But that's where I think that was what was smart about the trailers is they gave you the fun, but they really didn't give you the heart. Because the heart of the film is what really gets you. And David Harbour's character, even though he's straight comedic relief in certain scenes, in other scenes, he hits you with the drama and the pathos. and everything, where you're like, damn, this man's, it's been a rough, all these characters have had rough lives. Some of them are monsters, though, but,
Monsters,
we'll get into
lady?
that. Monsters, lady. Views from the 616, y'all know me. Y'all know how I'm going to get down on this one because, whoa. But, that's a little spoilerific, so we'll save that for later.
Also, those fans of A Handmaid's Tale would recognize O.T. Fabinelli. I apologize for mispronouncing his name. Fabinelli. He is also a character in this film. You'll get to see some of him there. Basically, he plays Luke in The Handmaid's Tale. So I saw him. I was like, oh, that nigga's in this movie. Great.
Getting that MCU check.
Yeah, and you got to get the MCU check. I feel like in Hollywood, if you have not, if your piece of your eye has not shown up in an MCU movie by now, you're doing it wrong, or your agent is doing it wrong at this point. And you all are going to see some additional familiar faces as you watch this film.
Yes, most definitely. Stay for the end credit scenes. I mean, if you're watching the MCU at this point, you already know how that's going down. Yes. But the MCU, the end credit scene is both poignant.
And we will say there is just one. So
yes, there's just one. And it does, of course, give you some big hints to what's coming. Also, I really like, even though this is a prequel, it does recontextualize and add to a lot of the previous MCU films, especially dealing with a certain location of Budapest. Budapest. Yeah.
It contextualizes things, and I will say one thing that it made sense of how they released it. Based on the fact of what we know of the MCU and what we know now of the Disney Plus shows, time-wise, it makes sense why they released it when they did.
Yes. And even though this was delayed by over a year, I feel that it really did work out in Black Widow's favor as a film, because now that it's been released in the time it's been released, after we've seen WandaVision, after we've seen Winter Soldier, and now we're halfway through Loki.
Yeah.
And this is such a return to that big, even though Falcon had a, hint tease of it,
but
it
this
was
is
like
a big budget body.
This is
big
that
budget baby.
Big budget baby of a movie.
Yeah.
Big budget booms. And so if you've been missing that in the MCU, you got it here. Trust.
And I will say I was pleasantly surprised that it didn't feel old. Like you said, this was delayed by over a year because of the pandemic and other things. And one of the other reasons, besides just me being a hater, there's one of the other reasons why I wasn't looking forward to it, because I'm just like, what are you going to show me that I didn't know already? However, like you said, that concept of family and the contextualization was worth it.
Oh, yeah, because Infinity War going to hit different. That's
so
that was gonna hit. Oh,
well, maybe for you,
for some people,
but I definitely would recommend watching Black Widow. If we're rating it out of a scale of 5, what would you rate it, Ben?
I give it a solid 4.
I give it a 4 as well.
Yeah, I give it a solid 4. It's tough. It's tough to rate MCU on a scale of 5 because it's gonna be like, I'm not giving none of those.
You gonna rate everything against Endgame?
And I'm just not giving.
Endgame is a 5.
It definitely easily. So it's Infinity War, but I'm not giving any of them hoes a 2. Thor: The Dark World is still 2.5.
That's still close to 2.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody's getting below that. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
okay,
yeah, it's tough to rate them because the fiending and the fandom is so strong in this one that I'm going to enjoy myself no matter what.
Okay.
Captain Marvel is the only one I have not rewatched, though. I have to say that. I'm gonna have to do it this week. Anyway.
Okay. That has been our first impression review of Black Widow. It will be out in theaters July 9th. We are overall giving this a thumbs up, a fam stamp of approval. We definitely say go see it. Great addition to the overall MCU story and timeline, as well as giving you some more context and meat to the character of Black Widow. That said, we hope you enjoyed this. Please do us a few things if you can. We appreciate your time and your love and your support. First off, make sure you are subscribed to For All Nerds on your favorite podcast platform. We are everywhere. There is no excuse why you should not be subscribed to us. Subscribe to us on our YouTube page, youtube.com/ForAllNerdsTV. Make sure at the very least you are following us on Twitch. That's how we do our live streams, twitch.tv/ForAllNerds. Benhameen, he's making the hands. I thought he was going to tell me to stop, but no, he's like, nah, he's making his hand gestures. The same hand gestures he does when you're watching us live on the Twitch and in the chat with us with the famous fan. Make sure you're in there locked in. Also, I always forget to say this, but if you have an Amazon account, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch channel subscription to a channel of your choice. Please make that be For All Nerds. All you have to do is link your account and you get that free sub. If you didn't know that, now you know. Also, if you like what you see us wearing, we are wearing the Sketch Sawyer exclusive to For All Nerds Storm on a motorbike, the Mohawk Storm on a motorbike. You can get this design on a variety of items such as tees, sweats, mugs, cups, chains, phone cases, all sorts of things, masks. You can get that. You can get the For All Nerds logo. You can get the views from the 616 logo. You can't get that special mug that Benhameen has because it's gone. It's been taken down long ago, but that's why. If you see something you really like on our store, you should cop it right away. You can go to tpublic.com/stores/ForAllNerds, and that's where you can get your merch. And that is one way to support us. That is one way you help support to see our lovely faces on your screen and in your headphones. Thank you to our phenomenal team, Chica and Luna. We love you very, very much. Thank you so much to Uncolored Page, who does the gaming streams. Also, make sure you are a Patreon if you can. Please go to our Patreon, patreon.com/ForAllNerds. As long as you're on any tier, you get special privileges as well as merch and special things sent to you. We appreciate you, and we do our special reviews on there that no one else can get, like our reviews for Bad Batch. So the next set is coming there soon. And make sure you are following us on socials at For All Nerds, at Views from 616, as well as myself at Tatiana King, and you, sir?
At DJ Benhameen.
And anything else we forgot?
I think that's about it, but make sure, as always, to follow, like she said, on all those various platforms. Stay tuned as we wrap up our Loki review on Views from the 616. Views from 616. Got 3 more episodes left, and then we move on to whatever's next. But for now, thank you. Holla Black.